Hello! So today we are going to do another fun abstract painting that doesn't require a whole lot of different paints. So I just have white over here, and I have a mixture of ultramarine blue with some Mars black, and that will create a Payne's gray for us. And so the first thing that I have is a primed black canvas. You can also use a white canvas and then just paint the whole thing black. But I was lucky enough to have a black canvas, so I'm going to go ahead and start with that. So the first thing that we're going to do is break out our masking tape and start making large triangles across the canvas. And they don't have to be uniform. Just going to spread them out throughout. Once you have your tape down, make sure that it's nice and flat so that paint doesn't get underneath that. All right, so what we're going to want to do is take a nice big brush. So I have my trusty utility brush here, and I just want to go ahead and start laying paint down. And what I want to do is have the base of each triangle be darker and then get lighter as we get toward the tip of the triangles. And it doesn't have to be perfect. Again, we just want to be able to see some interest in the painting, and that's okay to see those brush strokes. And then now I'm going to go in with even more of the white. And that way, again, we're getting a little bit lighter. All right. So now if there are any areas where you see like, oh, I want to blend it a bit more, or I want to change it up, now is a good time to do that. So now what we're going to do is go ahead and pull up our tape because we are done with this first layer. Okay, we're back, and now that my canvas is dry, I am ready to go ahead and add my second layer. And what we're going to do is we're going to take our trusty masking tape and we're going to do the exact same thing. We're going to make triangles, but this time we're going to overlap the existing triangles. And so try to make the designs fun, where some parts are overlapping some triangles and other parts are overlapping just the black of the canvas. And this will make the painting more interesting. All right, and just like before, we're gonna want to make sure that our tape is nice and flat against the canvas. If you do find that there was a part that wasn't flat and there was some bleed of the paint underneath, the good news is we're only working with a couple of colors, or potentially the bleed was on the black like here, and that's something that we can touch up and fix at the end. All right, so I have a clean brush. I'm gonna dip that in water. And just like before, I'm going to start with my darkest Payne's gray here. Get the brush nice and full of paint. Laying that down. Again, I'm not worried about being perfect and having it smoothly blended. I like the brush strokes. Helps the color look a little bit more interesting. There we have it. So that is our next layer. So I'm going to pull up the tape and see what we have underneath. All right, we're back and my canvas is now dry. So I'm going to put on my very last layer. So this time, taken our trusty masking tape. We are not going to be putting triangles down. This time we are just doing straight vertical lines. And what I want to do is have 2 pieces of exposed canvas on this right side and then 1 strip of exposed canvas on this left side. All right, here I go. All right, so you're gonna want to make sure that your tape is down nice and tight. So for this last bit, what I'm gonna do is I'm going to use my Mars Black. A little bit here. And I'm going to use a permanent red, which I'm just going to lay down right beside it. Now I'm going to go in, not rinsing my brush, but just going straight in for that red. And I'm going to start heading toward the middle of the painting. The brightest part. And if you feel like you need to blend out to some of the areas that's closer so it's a little bit blended, has a more natural progression, feel free to go ahead and do that. All right, so I think that is it. So now that we're done, we can go ahead and pick up our paint again. The good news is no overlapping paint, so we can just rip it off. Alright, so that is our little abstract painting for today. You may notice there's like a bright patch of black here on the edge. I did have some color bleed before, so I went in and just corrected that with some Mars Black. And then once I varnish my painting, it won't show as a separate shiny as much, because then more of the painting will have that gloss look. Alright, thank you for joining me. If you like what you see, please be sure to like and subscribe. And see you next time. Bye.